Bred to Win recently visited Free Eagle at Sam Hayes' Cornerstone Stud in South Australia, but there are a number of other promising young stallions on the farm. With the new stud manager Tom Murtagh, Cornerstone is continuing to plan for a successful future.
Tom, you haven't been here very long, but tell us a bit about your background, because you've worked at some of the gun studs around the world, such as Cambridge Stud in New Zealand, and of course you had Esker Lodge prior to being here.
Yeah, no, I've been very lucky. The places that I've worked in the past, mainly in Ireland, had the good fortune to have worked at Coolmore for a few years, and then I ran the private farm for Sheikh Mohammed, or Sheikh Hamdan, at Derrinstown Stud. So, and then from there, I decided to come to New Zealand. I told my parents I'd be away for a couple of months, and I stayed 25 years.
Yeah, well, C.S. Hayes, I mean, the old original family. We see some of the history and tradition still on the property here. We see the old original schoolhouse. The Angus family, you know, obviously Anguston is named after, owned 3 million acres originally. They're still the oldest working shearing shed in South Australia, and this is the 50th year of breeding horses in the Barossa Valley for the Hayes family. So a lot of tradition to live up to, isn't there?
There is, and hopefully we will. Hopefully we will, but it's an amazing history and an amazing story.
And of course you've been an old friend of David Hayes as well, so you know the background, a lot of the background here, the old Lindsay Park, now Cornerstone.
Yes, and it's interesting, the Hayes family, they introduced the shuttling concept many, many years ago as well. So yeah, a man way before his time, a great man and a great family.
Looking at the stallions, well, we'll start with Valentia, a $1.35 million yearling, and you just know he's going to be a glamour when they cost that much as a young horse.
He's got a physical presence that I really like, good strong head, and yeah, you can see why he made the money. He's a gorgeous horse, great temperament, and hopefully he'll throw that to the stock.
Yeah, a real Fastnet rock though, isn't he? He was bred by Fred Pisa, of course, and Gai Waterhouse trained him. He won his maiden, and he won the Skyline Stakes, and I think there's only been six Fastnet rock sons that have won a group race at 2. So he was one of the very good Fastnet juveniles.
Yes, and that's a big plus for him, and hopefully he'll leave some early stock.
Tell me what you see when you look at him as a type, because he is a lot like Fastnet Rock, isn't he? But he's very refined as well and beautifully balanced.
He is, and I judge horses in motion, and when he walks past you, every single sinew in his body moves, and that's very important, because when we sell them as yearlings, they have to have that sail walk. If they don't have that, we can't sell them.
And it's so important, I guess, just to have that temperament too, as you mentioned, because even today, you know, he's just taking everything in his stride.
Yeah, and the great thing about him in the shed itself, and that's the litmus test for us, he's very, very good, great temperament, doesn't mess around, and it's made my job very easy.
Yeah, when we let him out in the paddock though, I mean, he knows how to run, doesn't he? He with his mate on the other side of the fence, he really enjoyed getting out there and really running, which is again, you know, a litmus test for these horses, because they have to actually really want to run to be able to race themselves and produce racehorses.
True, and he's already served close on 35 mares, and he hasn't lost an ounce of condition, so that's a testament to his temperament as well.
Yeah, he's got a lovely big strong back end on him too, and that lovely big barrel, you know, which I guess for the uninitiated or people that don't understand when you're talking about the conformation of horses, that you know, that's where the lungs are, that's where the engine is really, isn't it?
Yeah, and trainers will tell you too that temperament is very important. They have to have that temperament. When you're dealing with horses 24/7, they have to have the right temperament in these stables.
Well, he was Gay's top Golden Slipper chance, and Gay herself absolutely loved the horse, and I know she's put out some great quotes over the years about, you know, when she had him in training, just how much she really loved him.
And she's a big buyer, and she's not afraid to support horses that she's raced in the past, so hopefully the vendors or the people that have used the stallion will benefit from this.
What sort of mares has he had? What sorts of mares are you attracting to him here in South Australia?
Well, look, we've got a cross section, but an awful lot of people are using them to generate speed into their families, and he's getting quite a few maiden mares because he's such a physical horse. He's going to throw a good first foal.
And looking at Zebedee too, he's a fascinating horse. You know, champion first and second season sire in Europe. Tell me what you see when you look at him, because he really, you know, he's a gorgeous horse, and he really seems to know it the way he prances along.
He does, and the beauty of him, he's already a proven stallion, and so the breeders can go there with confidence. You're going to get to the races, you're going to win races. It's just a matter of how good those races are. He's been a phenomenon in Europe, and I picture him as a golden, a Magic Million type of horse, and I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves one in the slipper.
Yeah, he's a real powerhouse, isn't he? He's that real typical sprinting type, isn't he?
He really is. Again, great nature and a real physical presence about him. I really like him.
And works well with Hasaneh mares too.
Yes, he does. I'd like to say he works well with all mares.
Yes, true.
But he does. And no, I think we're going to have some fun with this horse.
When you look at him, again, what sorts of mares should be sent to him? He's not an overly big horse, but as I said, he has plenty of power behind him.
I'm a firm believer in breeding speed to speed, and let stamina look after itself. And I think that's the sort of mare I'd be taking to him. Sometimes when you send those dour staying types of horses to a stallion like that, you get a horse that neither sprints nor stays. So that's what I'd like to see, some quick mares, and you could get anything.
And Sam, obviously there are a lot of clients here that you're able to be getting mares from, so he's getting well supported, isn't he?
He is a very, very busy boy. Like over the weekend, he's had 2 days where he said four mares a day, so he's just starting to rack them and stack them now, but very, very busy and very popular.
And the foals, well, we did look at a couple of the Zebedee foals. There's one out of, this is a filly out of Classic Cameo, so she's a Hasaneh mare. Beautiful, neat sort of type, isn't it? But really strong.
Yeah, my wife Shelley wanted to take it. She's back in New Zealand at the moment, and if she had a chance, she would have taken that filly home with her.
Is indeed. And the other one was Justine's Pride. This is a colt by Zebedee too. And, you know, they seem to have a really lovely nature as well. It's very curious and interested in everything happening.
And Justine Pride, the mare, is not a very big mare, but the foal has got an awful lot of leg and scope and rein about it. Very, very nice foal.
So, Tom, what are you most excited about in the next 12 months here at Cornerstone after only being here in the job for about 2 months?
Well, I just want to settle into it at the moment. I've hit the ground running, so I haven't had a chance to smell the roses, as it were. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting through the season and getting to the yearlings, because the yearlings is something I really love to do and market, and we'll have some fun.